are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the clean of heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are they who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when they insult you and persecute you, and utter every kind of evil against you falsely, because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven. The Gospel of the Lord. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied. This is a great promise from the Lord to us, that if we want holiness, if we want this relationship of love with God, He will satisfy us. He will give us His righteousness. He will give us His holiness. I'd like you just to clear your mind for a moment. You can close your eyes if you're not tempted to go to sleep. And I just ask you, why aren't you a saint? Why am I not a saint? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? And what is the reason that we commonly keep hitting against? What is the stumbling block for us? What's the problem or issue? Maybe it's a question of we really don't want it. When we read in the scriptures of St. Paul in his letters, he speaks about, I do what I don't want to do. We have this fallen human nature that keeps resisting us. Or we have St. Augustine, who had his great struggles with chastity. He had an illegitimate son by a mistress. And he would pray, and wrestling with his conversion, he would say, make me chaste, O Lord, but not yet. I'm not ready to embrace that life. I can't give myself to it. Or maybe the reason you gave was that I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what the Gospels ask of me. I'm afraid where the Lord will lead me if I truly become His disciple. We can think of St. Mark, who on a missionary journey with St. Paul, seeing the rough treatment that St. Paul seemed to attract, he left the journey, right? He went home, he ran away, he got scared. He left the group. Barnabas would later bring him on a trip, a journey, and that would cause a split between Barnabas and Paul. But later they would be reconciled, and Mark would help Paul. And Paul speaks of that in his letters. Or in Mark's Gospel, it's often thought that St. Mark is the young man in the sheep. When our Lord is taken, and they go to grab him, and they're left with the sheep, and Mark's out there with nothing, running through the woods. Not the greatest beginning, of a life of sanctity. He was afraid, right? But later he found courage. John Paul II would say that he was a man of great trust, and he learned to be so at the shrine of Our Lady of Jehovah. Remember his call to us, constantly repeating the phrases of Jesus' command in the Gospel, do not be afraid. This is a man who lived through the Nazi invasion and then the communist persecution in his own country. He knew what it was to be afraid, and he learned to trust, in his devotion to Our Lady. Maybe the reason you gave was, you tried to be a saint living with my family, with my husband or my kids. And we can look at Blessed Anna Marie Page. She was married to a difficult man, to say the least. He was irascible and demanding and very moody. There was one story where he would come home from work and he wanted everything just so. The children would have to